everyone, it's Erica Henry with Rebel Stitchers, and I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs walking around in the background. I'm in the kitchen today, well, dining room, kitchen area instead of my studio because I needed a large workspace to record some tutorials for y'all. So today I'm going to be showing you how to take a hank of yarn. This is single ply hand spun recycled banana yarn by Vintage and You. And I am going to show you how to turn this from a hank into a ball of yarn without a ball winder and Swift. So what you're going to need is a pair of scissors to cut off the ties, and you're going to need 2 chairs, like kitchen chairs. So first you're going to unwind the hank, and when you're doing this, be careful to keep all of the strings on the correct side of where they were originally. It's easy to get like some from this side over here and not catch it, so just take a look. Then I like to put it in my hands, kind of snap it a little bit. That kind of helps align everything up. Everything looks pretty good. Now we're going to take 2 chairs, 2 kitchen chairs, and put them back to back. And I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see it. Alright, you're probably going to see my animals running around. Of course, when I decide to record, they decide to get crazy. So we're just going to carefully lay this big loop across the chairs. And you want it to be kind of tight. How close you put the chairs is going to depend on how big this big loop is here. So you want it to be pretty tight, but not tight enough where it'll, pop off or stretch too much. And you want to look for all of the ties. Usually there's several, so you want to cut those. There's one. When I spin my own yarn or dye yarn and rehank it, I like to do like this and use a different color so it's easier to see. But everybody's different, and while it's nice to not be able to see them for aesthetic pictures and stuff, it's much easier on the customer when they're taking it apart, in my opinion. Okay, so I think I got all of them. Now the end was over here. All right, and so I like to take 3 fingers, just kind of wind into a little, not too tight, but just, a little amount there, and then take it off, and I do the same thing the other way to start my ball. And you're just going to work your way around. And then once I start getting it where it's fuller, then I just start doing a few around and then turning it a little bit. Now this is a single ply thick and thin art yarn, so it's not going to be extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to be extremely consistent. That's the word I'm looking for. So my ball may look a little funky, but yeah, you just work your way around. And if you come to any spots that seems a little tangled, you might need to put your ball in between to get it back, depending on how those individual strings of yarn fell. Like this one I need to put back through again because it's coming off a little funky. So just pay attention to how it's coming off. You might need to kind of flip them completely. Just take your time with this because it's very easy to make a big mess with or without a Swift. And most people do not enjoy undoing knots, and that's what will happen if this gets all tangled. So pull off a little extra there because for some reason this section we're in, the yarn's more energized through this little section here. That makes sense. Because it's a single, it's not very balanced. So I'm just going to have to be very careful as I unwind to make sure that I'm watching what needs to be done with the yarn to keep it from tangling or falling off. And we've got a place where the ball was the yarn was very energized, so it's like wrapped around itself. So let's take a look here. Or no, actually that was the end. Interesting, I've never seen someone do that. Interesting. But see, it would have been much easier if they would have used a different color, because I would have seen that. And that's it. So you don't need a Swift and ball winder to take a hank of yarn and turn it into a ball and that you can work with. All you need is 2 chairs in your hands, or something similar. I've seen people use 2 water bottles. I prefer chairs because I can stand up and I'm at the height. So while having a Swift and hank are convenient, not everybody has them, and sometimes I don't want to get it all out to just do one hank. It's a lot to put together and set up if I just have one. So all you need is 2 chairs. I've seen people use 2 water bottles. I prefer 2 chairs because it's standing height. I can adjust them easy. They're wide, you know. But whatever works for you. If it's a small skein, I've even seen people just turn this chair over and use just the 4 legs. But I hope that you found this helpful, and please like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.